Talk about this healthcare story. If you haven't seen it, three of the best brands out there, Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and JP Chase, announcing a partnership, plans to cut healthcare costs and improve services for their employees. So let's just walk through this. We are going through massive healthcare reform. If these three figure out a way to deliver to their employees and their employees' families transparent, low-cost, high-quality healthcare, that's massive.
It's a little experiment in single-payer healthcare. They're talking about eliminating the profit motive. That is what people talk about with single payer. And so you see healthcare stocks being hurt by that announcement. You have to have confidence that the combination of those three companies, JP Berkshire, and Amazon, are going to have a high level of technical competence in trying to implement this. Technology is part of it, efficient use of medical records and efficient diagnostics and coordination of care, all those things. If they can pull this off, I think this is going to affect the national health care debate. What
do you make of the timing of this, right? This is no coordination with the government, but Jamie Dimon knows the president well. Jared Kushner is in charge of innovation. Isn't this the kind of announcement that the White House would have loved to have made in conjunction with these guys? Because here's the president. He's about to tout the stock market tonight, and all we've seen is our healthcare stocks get whacked off this news.
No, of course. It's the holy grail. It's single payer, but nobody has to take responsibility for saying we brought in single payer. What I think is interesting about this announcement, though, is that we all know that nothing happens in American politics unless a large industry group wants it to happen, right? So what we've seen for the last 10 years is you've got hospital groups fighting against insurers. Hospital groups want to keep costs up. Insurers want to keep costs down. And now you have this other group that's saying we too want to keep costs down, which might move things. This is fascinating because American industry has been saddled with healthcare costs since a bargain we made after World War II. We decided that we would allow businesses to raise benefits instead of raising wages, and I think it's been half a century, and they're finally saying, look, we cannot compete in the global economy unless we take this particular monkey, healthcare costs, off of our back.
Now, we should say that the cost curve has bent down in recent years. We don't know how durable that is. Some of that is responsible, has to do with prescription drug costs coming down. Some of that may have to do with Obamacare and some of the payment reforms that they implemented, coordination of care, that sort of thing. But the problem has tempered somewhat, and very interesting that at this point these three outstanding companies coming forward to try to push that ball a little bit further forward.
Quickly before we go, I want to talk show me the money. Gary Cohn already said it earlier on TV today. President Trump is likely to talk about big infrastructure plans tonight. There's already a new report out that says more than 50,000 bridges in the United States are falling apart. Clearly, this needs to be addressed, but you've got to find the money. The president wants to talk about this, but how is this going to work nuts and bolts? We know he's not going to get into details, but they have to be hidden in there somewhere.
We spent our infrastructure money in December with a $1.5 trillion tax cut. I mean, I think that
and I'm pretty sure JP Morgan is not going to fix these bridges.
Yeah, that's all over but the shouting. I mean, John can talk to this, but we always, one of the things that you always hear about when you read about development economics is public-private partnerships, because they seem to solve everybody's problem, right? It gets this thing, infrastructure that we all want. Nobody has to pay for it. Everybody wins.
Except but it doesn't. Private equity firms want 15% returns, and munis give you 4%.
Yes,
exactly. You cannot solve